Well, it's day 38 of the Israeli-U.S. war on Iran. Now, here are the latest developments that we know that's taking place on the ground. My colleague Shivan Chanana is joining us with more details. Shivan, over to you.
Jyotsna, war doesn't seem to be stopping. Developments are taking place by the hour, and in the latest, let's start with that. U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened to destroy all of Iran's power plants if they don't agree to open the Strait of Hormuz. It was an abusive post, and in an interview with the Wall Street Journal, Trump said that Iran is going to lose every power plant and every other plant that they have in the whole country. Well, the U.S. president added that he will let the world know pretty soon when the war with Iran will come to an end. And following Trump's threats, Iran vowed to strike back against any attacks on its infrastructure. In a statement, Iran's foreign ministry said that it would retaliate against any attacks, while warning that the country's armed forces are prepared to target any U.S.-linked assets in response to any act of aggression. And Tehran even further said that its reaction would be a reciprocating measure following recent threats against Iran's bridges and power plants. And also, let me just quickly add to that Iran has warned that shipping lanes beyond the Strait of Hormuz are at risk if the US and Israel escalate attacks. And this is coming from a senior advisor to Iran's supreme leader. Moving further, an Iranian minister has lambasted US President Donald Trump's warnings. Iran's culture minister dismissed Trump's latest threats, calling him unstable and delusional. The culture minister, in an interview, said that Trump lacks personal behavior and verbal balance. He also added that the US president constantly shifts between contradictory positions. Then Iran has also said that the Hormuz Strait would never revert to normalcy. It will never go back to what it was before the 28th of February. And the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, said that the Strait of Hormuz would never return to its former state. It has also warned that the United States and Israel, and it reminded them of what it described as a new security order emerging in the Persian Gulf. Also, Israeli firefighters have been conducting search and rescue operations after an Iranian missile struck a residential building in northern Haifa. Authorities said that firefighters are searching for 3 missing people amidst the rubble. Then there's drone footage which has emerged showing search and rescue operations after an Iranian projectile partially reduced a residential building into rubble at Haifa in northern Israel. Haifa has taken a good number of hits since the war began. And according to paramedics, 9 people have been wounded in this latest strike with shrapnel and other blast-related injuries. They also said that one elderly man has been seriously injured by a heavy object. Well, UAE, let's come back to the Gulf. UAE said that it's neutralizing missile and drone threats in the region. The country's National Emergency Crisis and Disaster Management Authority said that air defense systems in UAE are currently responding to a missile threat. Let's quickly also remind our viewers that UAE has recently signed an air defense deal with Ukraine, even though they already have US air defenses deployed in the country. UAE also urged citizens to remain in a safe location and follow official channels for warnings and updates. Similarly, Kuwait said that it is responding to missile and drone threats. In a statement, Kuwait's army said that its air defenses are intercepting hostile missile and drone attacks. The General Staff of the army has also requested citizens to adhere to safety and security instructions. Coming back to Israel, it continues to strike Hezbollah in Lebanon. Lebanese state media has said that an Israeli strike targeted a residential building at a town located 18 kilometers east of the capital Beirut. The latest attack comes after the IDF reportedly killed 4 people in the southern suburbs of Beirut on Sunday. And let me just quickly add to that a few more updates that came in while we were reporting this. The markets in Japan and South Korea, they've actually opened higher, and this is despite Trump's abusive threats to Iran to blow up everything. And let me quickly, Jyotsna, just give you a few figures there. The Japan markets were up 0.45%. South Korean market up 1.8%, and this is contrary to what we've seen so far. But then we've seen how the deadline from Trump keeps changing. Starting from the 21st of March, we're nearing now 7th of April, and that deadline keeps getting extended. And clearly now the markets are also figuring it out. Maybe this is going to be another extension. Jyotsna, back to you. There's going to be more to discuss. We'll keep tracking it.
Absolutely, Shiv. Of course, thank you so much for bringing all the updates. So, of course, we'll be coming back to you for any updates that you'll be tracking for us. Well, that was Shivan joining us on the newsroom.